acting as a catalyst. We're at the inflection point now. There'll be an order of magnitude more financial products built on top of digital assets soon. So
Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another CYPRX video banger. In today's video, we're going to be going down the rabbit hole, and I'm going to be showing you all how, yet again, they are attempting to shake the masses out of the digital asset crypto ecosystem by broadcasting things that Federal Reserve representatives are saying that are horribly incorrect about the crypto ecosystem. So we're going to disprove all of that in today's video breakdown. I'm going to show you all that they are, for a fact, building out a new financial ecosystem, and they're telling you all that this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. But yet again, all of the information that we're going to share with you here in today's video and on the CYPRX platform is never going to reach the mainstream. So do us a favor. If you enjoy these videos, smash that thumbs up button and subscribe. You are not going to want to miss a beat on anything that we share in today's video breakdown, because it is going to open your mind to what it is that they are, and they, the individuals that are reconstructing the whole entire financial system, talking about on stage behind the scenes, but will never broadcast this information to the mainstream platforms. And instead, they will continuously pump fear, uncertainty, and doubt to the hearts and the minds of the masses. And it is in my firm belief that this is because they know exactly what is about to happen. Again, a once in a lifetime opportunity for life-changing wealth. Trillions of dollars from the old, traditional, outdated, decaying financial system is about to flood onto the digital asset ecosystem. So let me prove that for you guys here in today's video breakdown by sharing video clips and panel discussions that, again, are never going to reach the masses. So let's jump in. I'm going to first share screen with you guys and just, show you everything that started today's video idea, because this is just, it's so laughable that people will read this, become fearful, sell their crypto assets, and miss out on life-changing opportunities. All right. So here you can see from Watch Your Guru. This is posted October 21st, 2024. As of time of recording, it is the 21st. I don't know when I'm going to post this video, but we can see just in Federal Reserve official Neil Kashkari says, very few transactions happen on crypto unless it's drug-related or illegal activity. This is another tactic in order to shake the masses out, steer them away from the developments, the positive developments that have been happening in the digital asset space. And again, it is my firm belief, because they know that trillions of dollars are about to flood onto this digital asset ecosystem, and people are about to experience life-changing wealth. The people that do their research, that buckle down and that understand where this industry, this crypto ecosystem is headed over the next, let's just say 2 to 5 years. Okay. Massive, massive opportunities. And again, I'm going to show that here today. So let's get in. Let's disprove what this individual is saying. We're going to head over to a panel discussion, a fireside chat. Now, this is a panel discussion of the head of global policy at Circle, talking about how very small percentage of crypto transactions are utilized for illicit market purposes. So just take a second real fast and let's disprove what Neil Kashkari had said today, to, again, shake the masses out of the digital asset ecosystem. So that way you, my followers, are not distracted and you all know what is really happening behind the scenes. By the way, this video is only from a couple of months ago on April 10th, 2024. So it is relatively new and fresh from this year.
In the US, the Deputy Secretary of the Treasury spoke in the Senate, requesting more authorities to regulate the space. And crypto was used all too often in that public testimony, because it's easy to turn crypto into, number one, the scapegoat for every illicit activity that might happen all over the world, while ignoring, frankly, what I think are some of the superpowers of the technology in the sector. I think responsible companies in this industry could do anti-money laundering, financial crime compliance better than peer traditional financial institutions. And at Circle, I think we aim to prove that and demonstrate that in reality. And so there's some interesting statistics in your own reports on this topic that TRM put out.
No, absolutely. We put out a recent report that said about 0.6% of total volume in all of crypto is tied to illicit activity. A tiny percentage, especially even when you compare it to the 2 to 5% that you traditionally hear globally. And absolutely right. I mean, the thing we talk about all the time is that, anti-money laundering is a use case for this technology. It's a feature, not a bug. You are able to track and trace the flow of funds on open blockchains in order to actually do financial crime, illicit finance, anti-money laundering investigations better than you ever could in traditional world.
So I'm going to pause it right there. We're going to move on to another video clip. But right off the bat, he mentioned how stablecoins are, positioned right now in such a way where they are better than the traditional financial system. And he mentioned that very small percentages of the digital asset ecosystem transactions are utilized for illicit purposes, and how, anti-money laundering and tracking transactions on the blockchain are a built-in utility there. It's a built-in use case. Okay, so this post from Watcher Guru and this post from Neil Kashkari, this comment is so inaccurate, and it's clear as day what they're attempting to try to do, which is why I'm creating a video breakdown like this, just to show you guys what is really happening behind the scenes. So now let's continue to confirm this sentiment. Canadian Blockchain Consortium, this was posted just a couple of months ago, December 8th, 2023. So it's still, again, relatively within the last year. Take a second and listen to what these individuals have to say. Number one, talking about how stablecoins are better than traditional finance. And number two, talking about how blockchain is 110% traceable. Take a second and listen here.
If now you look at, I guess the cross-border payments, leveraging stablecoins, maybe between Asia and North America. So a lot of international trade has already been confirmed using stablecoin as a way of settlement. So you can literally get your stablecoin through your local payment rail, no matter whether you're in Asia, South America, and then you can transmit stablecoins to another country and over to sell to the local currencies using local fiat gateways. So the whole process for that is much more efficient than any SWIFT wire transfer regime.
So the reason why I played that is because you just heard him say that, this process to send stable coins globally is much better than the traditional SWIFT system. Okay. And that's monumental and just backs what it is that I'm saying, that these large players, they know that the old traditional system is decaying, right? The technology is outdated. This new digital asset ecosystem brings utility and use case the likes of the world has never seen before. And it is only going to continue to scale and be adopted on a massive global scale. Okay. So now let me just play this last video clip here where they go on to say that, blockchain is 100% traceable. Take a second and listen here.
Sometimes there's like the top down and bottom up like compliance approach to this, where we've historically, you sort of have almost privacy by complexity. Like it's very challenging to track, a dollar around the system, like a physical piece of cash. And so for blockchain, it's kind of the complete opposite. You can track literally every microcent around an entire network, but you don't really have the identity layer that goes to it.
So someone from the Federal Reserve today stated that crypto is utilized for illicit market purposes, but I just showed you guys 2 video clips of individuals saying that, it's 100% trackable, it's traceable, it's used for a very small percentage of illicit purposes. And this gentleman here said that cash is utilized much more often than crypto for illicit purposes because it's not traceable, right? So it's just so mind-boggling that people will hear an individual representative from the Fed speak and just soak up that info because of his credentials and believe what they're saying. Again, getting them shaken out of the market, fearful, doubtful, not doing research, which is why here at CYPRX, we're attempting to steer you guys in the right direction by doing this research for you. Now, here is a panel discussion, an event that took place. Listen to them confirm that technology is decaying and we are in a period of a massive transition. Take a second and listen.
The question is that we have legacy systems that are decaying and they're approaching the point of where they're no longer going to be needed. I used the example of Blockbuster Video because at one point, Blockbuster Video was the largest distributor of video in the United States. And they just did an amazing job, but they ignored the changes that were happening in their own business model.
Right. So I wanted you to hear it from someone with many more credentials than you and I say that the technology is decaying, and they know that. They know this. Okay. It's so clear as day that they know that this is happening. And so it's so much clearer as to why they're pumping out this fear, uncertainty, and doubt to, again, shake people out, because the transformation is happening. Now, here is a video clip of the head of the Bank of International Settlements, just a real quick clip of him mentioning that this is a massive opportunity. Take a second and listen here.
We need to bring all these pieces together. And it is important to do so now when the technology is mature enough to use, but before we get locked into rigid institutional frameworks or walled gardens erected by large financial institutions or by big tech companies. We have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to revisit the architecture of the financial system. We have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to revisit the architecture of the financial system.
We have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to revisit the architecture of the financial system. Now, I've told you guys and I've shared with you all these video clips in previous breakdowns where they are for a fact openly admitting and talking about how they are redesigning a new financial system. Take a second and listen.
I'll take you from the specific to the general and in increasing generality. But let me start with this. I think it's fundamental to discuss that we're living in an exponential evolution of technology era, right? And this implies that the digital realm is touching our everyday lives ever more. And when we thought about financial exclusion in the past, we could thought that it was bad because people would not get access to financial services. But if we think in financial exclusion right now, we can actually keep people out of society. So that is something that modern societies would not want to see. Now, given this situation, we have to see what our financial market infrastructures look like today in terms of the capabilities of processing transactions, in terms of the capability of producing different business cases and functionalities on a production scale that can serve this very big demand that is coming due to this digitalization process. And we can realize immediately that we need new financial market infrastructure. So Tony mentioned it in the last panel, and I think he's right on spot, that we need to rethink how things work in the back end.
Boom, right? So very simplistic. I'm not making this stuff up. They are for a fact building out a new financial system. Now, let's head over to the WEF, World Economic Forum, Davos event that took place at the beginning of this year, where on a panel discussion with Brad Garlinghouse from Ripple, they're talking about players. Some players in this space are, involved in illicit market purposes, but some are not. And some are actually attempting to help build this new financial system and be responsible players in this space. And Brad Garlinghouse nods his head and he says, yes, keep in mind that we've now confirmed that stablecoins are more efficient than the traditional financial system. And, we are in a process of upgrading the payment rails. Ripple just released their stablecoin. Now, I've already played video clips of Jeremy Allaire in the past mentioning Ripple as a company, as a solution.
Internet between counterparties. And so if we can, improve it with more scalable blockchain technologies like, Brad's company provides.
And then I'm going to end it with a video clip of Jeremy Allaire. So I'm going to play these videos back to back. Just take a second and listen to how massive this is, people. Like, you guys really got to understand what is about to happen.
Yeah, I mean, one thing to go back to something you said earlier, Brad, was the fact that 2023, that Bitcoin and other currencies grew as much as they did while,
shit was hitting the fan.
Shit was hitting the fan all over the place. It suggests that the public is getting a little more sophisticated about understanding that, the whole they're all criminals. Like, no, there's some criminals and we know who they are, and everybody else is just trying to create a new financial system. So that seems like an encouraging sign. Yeah, they're all criminals. Like, no, there's some criminals and we know who they are, and everybody else is just trying to create a new financial system. So that seems like an encouraging sign.
Yes, I had 3 points earlier on why there were no real use cases in crypto and blockchain. My first point was similar to what Brad said earlier. Bitcoin and cryptocurrency was in a gray area, right? So you can't really unlock full potential if something is illegal, right? You can't bring in the whole workforce to help and innovate. But and this is why we have to fix on the first issue on the standardization of regulation across the world, so that serious money, serious talents can actually come and help and innovate on real use cases. For example, in Thailand, once we have legalized the whole space, there are 2 major banks now acting as a cryptocurrency service provider in the country. So I'm sure there'll be new innovations happening soon. That was my first point. And my second point is that ETFs is acting as a catalyst. We're at the inflection point now. There'll be an order of magnitude more financial products built on top of digital assets soon.
So you heard him say again at the World Economic Forum on stage with Ripple that there is about to be an order of magnitude of financial institutional money coming into this space once the regulatory environment is clear. And these people, again, including the Federal Reserve, they know this to be the case, which is so embarrassing as to why they're pumping out fear, uncertainty, and doubt in the markets instead of motivating people to participate in this fourth industrial revolution. Okay. Last but not least, this video clip of Jeremy Allaire. Take a second to listen. Hundreds of trillions of dollars. He confirms exactly what the gentleman just reiterated on stage. How, we're about to see an order of magnitude. We're at an inflection point. Everything is about to shift. And this is, again, why I have a firm belief that mainstream resources will cover Neil Kashkari stating that crypto is used for illicit market purposes instead of showing you all everything that I just showed you guys in today's video breakdown, that is not to be the case, that cash is actually, in fact, utilized more often than crypto for illicit market purposes. They're changing the whole entire financial system behind the scenes, and they're attempting to steer people away from that. For God knows what reason, it is my firm belief and personal idea that it is because they know how much money is about to come into this space that is going to create, again, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So take a second here and listen.
Faster acceleration adoption in EM, emerging markets, compared to the developed world?
So I guess my view is that we're really just in the early stages of the development of the internet financial system. And we're talking about today it's a tiny fraction of the current scale of the global financial system. But the internet financial system, I believe, ultimately will increase global economic output. We should see an acceleration in economic output in the world because of the internet financial system and what it allows for. So when you think about the market today, the market for existing forms of electronic money, just fiat electronic money is about $100 trillion. And so, clearly, just stablecoins themselves have significant room to grow. But then the intermediation that goes on, that's involved in actual economic output, so credit intermediation, time value of money intermediation. I think more and more of that will move into this on-chain world as well. But I don't think the right question is necessarily, is it emerging markets versus developed markets? Like, the internet is awesome in every country in the world, okay? Like, internet communications platforms are awesome in every country in the world.
Yeah.
The web is awesome in every country in the world. Meaning these general purpose infrastructures achieve scale and they deliver 10x or 100x better utility than their predecessors. Like, there's a time when, oh yeah, I could make a free long distance telephone call in the United States. Well, why would I need, voice over IP or whatever? Is that the point is that, a model of money where the marginal cost of transacting goes to zero and where money itself becomes a programmable, composable form of data, an object on the internet, unlocks utility in a way that's never existed before. And that's going to be hugely valuable in the biggest capital markets in the world. It's going to be hugely valuable for the biggest corporations in the world in developed markets. And it's going to be hugely valuable in international markets. That's not to say that there aren't going to be use cases that achieve scale first in certain places. So yes, we are seeing dramatic amounts of activity happening in cross-border applications of stablecoins today. That's like a very significant growth driver. But I think when you step back and you think about the building blocks of the internet financial system and what that represents, to me, that's global scale and will touch every major market.
But
like he said, happening for the first time ever, will touch every major market on a global scale. Like, if after watching this video breakdown, if you've made it to the end, by the way, if you've enjoyed this, smash that thumbs up button because it does help boost the algorithm. Like I mentioned, this information it's hidden from the mainstream sources. This video has 890 views, people. There's millions of people in crypto and billions of people on this earth. Why does a video on TikTok of a young person dancing on the internet to some trendy song have 20,000 million views, right? Some odd crazy number. I just made that number up off the top of my head, but you get what I'm saying, okay? And these don't. It is because this information is suppressed and it is clear as day. So do me a favor, help this platform grow, help this type of material hit the mind of the masses so that way we as a population can wake up and take advantage of these opportunities and people don't get left behind. People like you and I that are interested, they just need to know where to find this information. So hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the platform if you're not already. We do appreciate the love and the support. Today's video breakdown was a slammer, man. Let me tell you what, it's so crazy to watch this all unfolding. Like right before our very eyes, the fact that they're pushing this misinformation out to the general public, especially when a freaking Fed representative is stating this stuff. It's so misinformation. It's It's mind-boggling. I don't even know what to say at this point. So anyways, blessings to you guys. Hopefully you all enjoyed that video breakdown. Again, do your research, okay? Don't just believe everything that you read on the internet. Just because people have credentials in this space that they work for the Federal Reserve, understand that they're all part of this manipulative tactic to shake people out because they know what is coming. With that being said, as always, I will see you all in the next video breakdown.